Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here and I'm joined today by my daughter Matilda. We've got a bit of a different video to do. We live in Hertfordshire in the UK and our library service is doing something amazing. It's called Ready Reads, and what is happening is the libraries aren't open at the moment, but on the Ready Reads on their website you can log on and you can go for a children's pack, which we did for Matilda, or an adult's pack, which we did for me, and you can get an adult's non-fiction or fiction, and then you put in some information about the books you're interested in. You put some information in a little box about maybe books that you've really enjoyed, books you don't want, and then they collect together some surprise books for you to pick up at the library. We've just gone and picked these up. It's quite good, our library, actually, because we drove literally right up to the door, put our gloves and mask on, went in, we asked them to put them in our canvas bag so we didn't touch them, we didn't have to go near, and then we came straight home. And we haven't looked, and we're going to do a bit of a surprise revealing. For me, I'm interested in whether they've picked books I haven't read, picked books that from the description they think I'll like. I think I put down that I was interested in romance, and I gave them some ideas of romance that I'd enjoyed. I think I said that I'd been enjoying Brittany C. Cherry and that I'd been enjoying who else? Colleen Hoover. I'd said I'd like some non-fiction as well, and but it was sort of romance that I was interested in, but not sort of Mills and Boon necessarily, and less historical. So we'll see what they come back with. And what did we put down for you?
Well, we put down, but I like coloured pictures and I like history books, and
we said you were interested in horrible histories, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that you liked graphic novels, and that Matilda's at the stage where she likes a chapter book, but she wants a chapter book that has coloured pictures on every page. Or, you know, she likes Daisy because there's quite a lot of pictures in there and there's less writing. So she quite likes those, don't you? So yeah, that is what we wanted for her. Maybe some new graphic novels, maybe some horrible histories. So we're going to do Matilda first. We're going to do a bit of a exciting first review. So let's get her bag.
Can I close my eyes?
You can close your eyes. So this is Matilda's bag. Shall I just pass you the first book?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to pass her over the first book.
So this is The Smart Horse in the World.
The Smallest Horse in the World by Jeremy Strong. Hold it up the front cover so everyone can see. Okay.
I haven't read this book. It's got 8 chapters, and this looks quite good for me.
It's got lots of pictures.
Swan calls Bella mean names. Swan shows off about her parents' money. Swan says she's got a pool and a dolphin and a horse, but Bella has a horse too, a very odd horse. And I think this is going to be really good. It looks really funny, and I think this is going to be a really good book for me to read.
Okay, so first pick's good, is it?
Yeah, I think I might like.
Okay, good. Shut your eyes in. Let's go for the next one. Oh, cool!
So I've just got a Judy Moody one, and I have got the audiobook to a Judy Moody book.
Oh,
this is the.
So it's Judy Moody by Megan MacDonald.
The mood will it be.
Oh, look, and it says on the side that it's #1. So this is the first book in the series.
This is really good for me. I've just got the whole audiobook for this, so I'm excited to start reading this. I think this looks really good.
Yay! 2 for 2. Okay, next
2 for
one.
2.
Oh.
I've just got a Horrible Histories
Villainous Victorians.
I haven't seen this book before. Someone's just meant the page in this book. But I think this looks really good, and it says the original and the best.
So it's all about villainous Victorians.
I think I'm really gonna enjoy this book. I'm not quite sure I'm gonna love it, but I think I might enjoy this. So.
The good thing about the horrible history books is that they're in chunks. So you don't have to read from front to back like a normal storybook. You could just pick a section you think sounds interesting and read just a little bit.
I've got another one. It's called Horrible Histories, and it's got the Rotten Romans.
That's one of your favourites, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got I know a lot about Rotten Romans because I've watched I looked last week, and when I was in bed, and I looked at all the Horrible Histories, and I've just watched all the episodes by now.
So it'd be good to read as well, then, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna love those books. So.
All right. You ready?
I hope there's not too much of them. I've got The Blobs.
The Bold by Julian Clary.
And it's a World Day book, the 1st of March 2018, The Great Adventure. I think this is going to be a really good book. I just read the back, and it's about hyenas who have moved, I think, from Africa in a zoo.
No, not from a zoo. They're just moving from Africa to the UK, but they're pretending they're humans, aren't they?
Yeah.
But they're really hyenas dressed up.
Yeah, and they're coming to England, and I think that's going to be a good book.
So that's a good one. Right, shut your eyes then. Oh, Mummy's got this one on her shelf, I think.
So it's The Roller Girl from New York Times, the bestseller.
This is by Victoria Jameson. It's a graphic novel about a girl that does roller skating. And I wasn't sure if this would be too old for Matilda, but they don't think it is, so she might enjoy it actually, and it's one that I remember enjoying. I thought I had it on my shelf, but maybe I didn't keep it.
Maybe it's in the box as in your thing.
Right, you ready? This one I do have on my shelf.
So this is
called El Defo by C.C. Bell. So this is a graphic novel as well, and it's about a main character who is deaf. And it's a really important book actually for everybody to read, but instead of having people drawn as humans, she's drawn herself as these sort of rabbit characters. But it is really good. I really enjoyed that. I think you'll like it.
I think this can be a really good book, so yeah, I hope I enjoy that.
Okay, shut your eyes. You ready?
This is Pig Sticks and Harrod and the Incredible Journey
by Alex Milway.
So this is, I think this is an ordinary book. It's got coloured pictures, and I think this is going to be really good.
Let's just show some of the pictures inside. So it's quite nice because it's got a mixture of pictures and writing. Do you want to read the back?
Pigstick and Harold set off and on a journey to discover the ends of the earth, armed with Pigstick's love of adventure, Harold's common sense, and lots of cake. They go further than any pig or hamster has gone before. But when disaster strikes, will they ever reach the ends of the earth? Will they ever make it home again? So they just said hamster, so I think Harold might be a hamster and this might be a pig. So
think it looks good?
I think this looks really good.
I think that looks fun. Right, there's more.
Is this like the last one?
No, there's a few more.
This is Too Small
Tola by Atanuke.
This looks like it's from, I don't know, it looks like it's from Africa.
Let's show everybody.
It just looks really good.
It's got some nice pictures inside. We wanted some more diverse reading, didn't we? We asked for that as well. Shall I read the back, or are you going to read it? Tola lives with her family in a crowded flat in Lagos, in the country of Nigeria. Whether it's market day or no water day at home, Tola proves that though she may be small, she is mighty. And it's a new book. It's the first book in a series about Tola. I think that might be really good to learn about other people and how they live.
Yeah, this is
good one. Right, shut your eyes. I think we've got 3 more. I think we might have read this one.
Yeah, this is the one that I've read. This girl who loves science, and she's just invented a wing, and she can now fly. I have read this book before.
And did you like it?
Yeah. I'm determined to read that one again though. I quite like that book. I've got the other book of the series of where this girl, just like her, makes a dress and she wants to become a designer in London, New York, and I think that's really good because I've got that as a library book downstairs and I think this might be in it.
So you're going to read that one again?
Yeah, I'm going to try though. Yes, I'm going to try and read that one again.
Right, hold on.
I've got the Breadwinner
graphic novel,
and
it's based on the original book by Deborah Ellis, and adapted from a feature film. This one again would be interesting for your age. It says this beautiful graphic novel adaptation of the Breadwinner animated film, inspired by Deborah Harris's beloved novel, tells the story of 11-year-old Pavana, who must disguise herself as a boy to support her family during the Taliban's rule in Afghanistan. When Pavana's father is arrested, conditions for the family grow desperate. Only one solution emerges. Forbidden to earn money as a girl, Pavana must transform herself into a boy and become the breadwinner. This might be interesting.
I think this is
about a girl who has to dress as a boy.
I think this is really good, and I think this is kind of one of them where they're set in the day of where girls didn't get the votes and they can't do much. I think this is set in that day.
Well, I think it could be a bit more modern actually, which is surprising. You'd think that things like that wouldn't be the case. But
yeah, and this is from Oxford. This book is graphic novel.
Cool. I think there is one more left.
This is the last one.
Oh, it looks fun.
This is
Good Dog, Bad Dog, Double Identity by David Shelton.
This is a graphic novel, I
Sorry,
think.
it's because they're a bit shiny.
Oh,
so it's a bit of a more traditional comic graphic novel. Metropolis is movie central and there's been a killing in Collywood. This calls for Kirk Bergman and Duncan McBoo, the craftiest cops around. The city is full of mean mongrels who are determined to stop them sniffing out the truth, but they haven't reckoned with the finest milkshake-fueled minds in the force. Criminals beware, Bergman and McBoo are on your tail. It makes me think of that book that we read about the one with the bouncy ball that goes, you know, the picture book we've got.
Yeah.
I think it's all like dogs on the case. It might be fun. It's a bit of a cops one. Not so interested in that one, maybe.
Not really. But...
Okay, so out of the ones that you've got, how many did you get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 12 that Matilda got. Can you pick the 2 that you're most excited to read?
Well, I've actually got 3 that I'm most excited to read about.
Okay, which 3 are you most excited about?
I'm excited to read Judy Moody. I quite like.
Because you know you like the story, don't you? So that's good. Okay.
Horrible Histories.
The horrible history ones. Okay.
And I think that's going to be my best book.
Yeah. Oh, well, what we will have to do is a bit of a follow-up to this video, won't we? So when we've both looked through our books, we'll have to do a follow-up to say which ones we actually like. Okay, well, Matilda has gone off already to sit and read some of her books. So let's get into the ones that are in my pile. My bag is chock full. I'm not sure how many they've given me, but I'm reaching into the bag now. Okay, the first one is called This Is Now by Kira Geraghty. Looks like an interesting front cover. Okay, so I've read the back of this and it sounds quite interesting. It's talking about an ordinary Monday in an ordinary bank in an ordinary town, and something obviously happens. I'm guessing maybe there's sort of a hold up or something happens in the bank. And then we're following 4 different people, I think. Martha, I think perhaps is an alcoholic, and then Roman, who is a 14-year-old Polish immigrant, Tobias, who's lying alone in a hospital bed in Dublin, and then Cillian, who's a police detective. And it says each of the 4 is running from the moments that brought them here to a place where the past cannot be undone and future cannot be known, a place called now. So this sounds like it's going to be sort of a contemporary fiction book. I am definitely open to giving this one a go. It's not one that I've heard of. Okay, so I'm going to be reaching in now. November 9. I have this already on my shelf. It's definitely one that I'm interested in. I obviously told them I like Colleen Hoover. I kind of thought by telling them that they wouldn't put any Colleen Hoover in, but I've already got this on my shelf, so it's not one that I'll be reading from the library because I've got it myself. So I'll put this to the other side. Okay, and I've just seen the front cover of the next one, and it's actually one I've already read, and that is Meet Cute by Helena Hunting. I did really enjoy this one. It was quite a sweet book. I seem to remember it was about a girl and a boy meeting, and then it moves forward. Something happens, they really don't get on anymore, and then we move forward to sort of the future where she needs to sort of help him out. He's looking after his sister because something's happened to his parents, and it was good, it was sweet, and it's definitely the sort of one that I would like. So they've done a good pick, but it's one that I've read. Okay, let's see what the next one is. The Years of Loving You by Ella Harper. This isn't one that I've heard of. So this one sounds like it's about a woman who she's married to a man, but she always goes to this other person, Ed, who is like her first love in times of crisis. Something happens, there's sort of a life-changing illness or something she's diagnosed with, and her first thought is to go to Ed rather than to her husband. I'm hoping this isn't going to be a cheaty type of book because it's not something I'm interested in, but I'm certainly open to giving it a go. Okay, right, let's go in. I've found another one. Oh, this is The Wife's Tale by Ada Edamariam, and it's a personal history. This must be one of the non-fiction picks. This says, 100 years ago, a girl was born in the northern Ethiopian city of Gondar. Before she was 10 years old, Yeta Megnu was married to a man 2 decades her senior and an ambitious poet-priest. Over the next century, her world would change beyond recognition. She witnessed fascist invasion and occupation, allied bombardment and exile from her city, the ascent of the fall of Emperor Haile Selassie, revolution and civil war. She endured all these things alongside parenthood, widowhood and the death of children. The Wife's Tale is an intimate biography both of life and of a country. In prose steeped in Yeta Megnu's distinctive voice and point of view, Ada Edamariam tells her grandmother's story of a childhood surrounded by proud priests and soldiers, of her husband's imprisonment, of her fight for justice, all of it played out against the rhythms of the natural world and rituals of the Orthodox Church. This sounds interesting. Something that I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about these people or the characters or the people that are being talked about in here. So it's certainly one that I find interesting. Okay, I'm going in for another one. This is another one I've already got on my shelf. I think I might have said I like bees. This is Buzz by Thor Hansen, and Nature and Necessity of Bees. I have that on my shelf over there to read, so probably not one that I'm going to pick up, but definitely on the right track. Okay, we've got 3 here that I've already got on my shelf or read, which isn't terrible. Okay, not one that I've seen or read about. It's called The Running Hare, The Secret Life of Farmland. And this is by John Lewis Stemple. I quite like the cover of this. And it says, The Running Hare is natural history close up and intimate. It's the closely observed study of the plants and animals that live in and under ploughland, from the labouring microbes to the patrolling kestrel above the corn, of field mice in nests woven to crop stems, and the hare now running for his life. It is a history of the field, which is really the story of our landscape and of us, a people for whom the plough has informed every part of our life, our language and religion, our holidays and our food. It is the story of a field, once moribund and now transformed. This sounds like it's going to be interesting. It was the winner of the Wainwright Prize and a Sunday Times bestseller. So yeah, I'm really intrigued by this one. Okay, let's go in again. Oh, there's a few more left. Okay, I think I have this on my shelf. It's Zadie Smith on Beauty. I've actually just looked on my shelf and it isn't on Beauty I've got, it's White Teeth. So this is definitely one that I'm going to give a go. I haven't read any Zadie Smith. I know that she's beloved by a lot of people. This says it's set in New England mainly and London partly. On Beauty concerns a pair of feuding families, the Belseys and Kipseys, and a clutch of doomed affairs. It puts low morals among high ideals and asks some searching questions about what life does to love. For the Belseys and the Kipseys, the confusions, both personal and political, of our uncertain ages are about to be brought close to home, right at the heart of family. So I'm hoping that this isn't more on the literary side, because that's not something that I was really interested in, but it's certainly one that I will give a go and see what I think. Okay, let's delve into the bag again. Okay, this is Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think I have picked up a book by him before. I think there was a really small one that came out and I didn't get on very well with it. I found it a bit over my head, but maybe this is going to be an easier read. It says, what is the nature of space and time? How do we fit in within the universe? How does the universe fit with us? There's no better guide through these mind-expanding questions than acclaimed astrophysicist and best-selling author Neil deGrasse Tyson. Okay, so it suggests that it might be one that I, might be able to get on with. We'll see. I hope it doesn't go over my head. It's definitely something I'm interested in. And yeah, why not give it a go? It's come in this box. Okay, I've got, well, I think it's 3 more. Let's go in. The Soulmate by Debbie Holt. Okay, maybe this is a fiction one. I haven't heard of this either. It says it's a heartwarming novel about love, loss and starting again. Widower Henry Drummond is marking time, drifting towards retirement until he accidentally saves a life. His daughter Maddie is at a wedding with the love of her life, but he is the groom and she's not the bride. They both decide they need to change their lives, preferably with a soulmate by their sides. But as Henry's mother tells him, love is a complicated business and it's not for the easily discouraged. Strange encounters, humiliations and excitements come along and romance keeps eluding them. Soon family crises get in the way, but their quest has taken on a life of its own with surprising consequences for all concerned. And it says it's been blurbed as wickedly comical, so fingers crossed. It says the dating game is tough whatever age you are, so I think that's fun. It's going to be sort of 2 different age groups dating. Okay, I'm reaching in again. I've got 2 hardbacks. So one is Into the Wild by John Krakauer. So I think this is one that I've definitely heard of. And it's about a young man who hitchhiked to Alaska, walked alone in the wilderness. He's given all his savings to charity, abandoned his car and possessions, burnt all the money in his wallet and invented a new life for himself. 4 months later, his decomposed body was found by a hunter, so that's in 1992. And it's talking about what happened, what drew him there. It says a fascinating story of idealism, fantasy and the dark side of the wilderness experience. So it's not one that I've really thought of picking up before. It is something that I've heard of. I think there's been a film made now, but maybe I'll give it a go. Okay, the final one. It is David Attenborough, The Zoo Quest Expeditions, Adventures of a Young Naturalist. This sounds really exciting. 1954, a young David Attenborough was offered the opportunity of a lifetime to travel to the world finding rare and elusive animals for London Zoo's collection and to film the expeditions for the BBC for a new show called Zoo Quest. This is the story of those voyages, staying with local tribes while trekking in search of giant anteaters in Guyana, Komodo dragons in Indonesia and armadillos in Paraguay. He and the rest of the team battled with cannibal fish, aggressive tree porcupines and escape artist wild pigs, as well as treacherous terrain and unpredictable weather. To record the incredible beauty and biodiversity of these regions, the methods may be outdated now, but the fascination and respect for the wildlife, the people and the environment, and the importance of protecting these wild places is not. This sounds brilliant. I think they've done such a good job here actually. There is probably 3 or 4 books that I'm really excited to read. There is 3 or 4 books that I'm willing to give a try and see how I get on with. There's 3 books here, 2 of which I have got on my shelf already, so they're obviously ones that I'm interested in. And then the last one is the only one that I've read and I really enjoyed it. So I've got high hopes and I look forward to coming back to you with mine and Matilda's wrap-ups on these, on how we get on with them, what we think of them. Yeah, I think this is going to be exciting, and I don't know if all libraries are doing this in the UK or whether it's just Hertfordshire libraries, but it was such a good idea. It's called Ready Reads, and you know, obviously I haven't been paid or anything like that. It's just something that we thought we'd do. We're stuck at home. And I can't wait to give some of these books that I wouldn't have picked up myself a go. So I'm going to trust the librarians and I'm going to see where this takes me, and I'll let you know how I get on. Bye for now, BookTube.